darlings, it is me, Rosie Bits, and I'm back with a tantric tip. Like and subscribe if you are enjoying what I have to offer and want to hear more. Ha! Okay, let's get started. So this week, this is, I think, episode 3 that I was doing around female sexuality, but this is actually for everybody. Everybody can benefit from what I'm going to talk about today. So today I'm going to talk about how movement, and particularly dance, really heightens our ability to experience pleasure. So if you associate as female and you have a yoni, moving your hips, loosening your hips, actually gives you the ability to experience deeper and stronger orgasms. Now, I don't think there's some scientific evidence behind that. Maybe there is, I don't know. But anecdotal evidence, yes. And also to just knowing the primal movements that you do when you're birthing, when you're making love, when you're attempting to mate with somebody. You know what I mean? Those moves on the dance floor when you're like, hey, I'm ready, take a look. All of those come back to like these hip movements that are natural to our bodies and that are ingrained in us. So when we're doing these movements and we're opening up the hips, we're actually creating, I think, an opening for greater orgasms. And I know for myself, man oh man, so I am a burlesque performer, but I've been on hiatus from performing for a couple of years now. And I really have noticed a difference in my orgasmic potential since I've stopped dancing. You know, I used to be dancing, teaching, burlesque and on the stage, sometimes multiple times a week, certainly teaching and then performing once a week or once every couple of weeks and rehearsing every day, right? So my hips are moving in a certain way and we're very open and very loose. And I definitely had an increase in my orgasmic potential as opposed to now. And this, I'm somebody who thinks about these things, cultivates these things, and has a high orgasmic potential, but I've noticed a dramatic drop. And I think it makes a lot of sense, because even if you think in regards to, say, childbirth, when we're opening that hip area, and we do all sorts of exercises, anybody who's had children, who's birthed children, there's a whole bunch of things that you do to actually help your hips open as you're preparing for childbirth. But I think that kind of lubricating of the joints, being open so that you actually are really loose when you're going to make love, makes a big difference in your ability to physically feel the sensations that are available to you. But also too, it's like it is also an emotional opening. A lot comes up when we're dancing, especially when we're moving the hips. Anybody who has done belly dancing or taken an awesome twerk class or burlesque can relate that as you're moving the hips, you are igniting some sexual energy and a lot of fire, a lot of sexiness comes up. But there can also be the flip side of that is trauma starts to get released. So from a tantric perspective, at least from my tantric lineage, the Shenpa Kagyu lineage, the fire element resides in our pelvis. And that fire element is responsible for our sexuality, like for that sexual fire, but also for the health of our sex and reproductive organs. So it makes a lot of sense that as we're moving that area, opening it up, having it be juicy, that fire is going to build, right? We are stoking that fire. And for people with penises, whatever kind of person you associate, male, female, non-binary, but if you've got a penis, man oh man, move those hips. Because let me tell you, certainly your ability to feel pleasure in your whole groin, in your cock, right, and move that pleasure around your body is going to be enlivened when you loosen up your hips. It's just the truth. It's going to be enlivened, and your ability to give pleasure to your partner when you're performing penetrative sex, it's penetrative with your cock sex, is also your ability to really feel into what's happening for that partner and where they're going to get their pleasure from, and then move in a way that matches their rhythm or that can bring them to somewhere else is also going to be heightened if you loosen up those hips. So people, get your dance on. Get your dance on. It's only going to make you sexier. You know it. You see it. When you see people dancing and they're sexy and they're amazing, you're like, ugh, right? So, but we can all do this. In North America, we're often trained out of moving. Even I'm a pretty out there person. I do not mind being the center of attention or, making a fool of myself. But I find here in the very sleepy, very British themed town that I live in, I'll sometimes just be like, rather than getting out there and dance because nobody else is moving. But truly, all of us have the ability. If we just follow, our natural, we follow our heartbeat even. We don't even need a beat outside ourselves. Follow your heartbeat and you can start to move in a way that is going to connect you to other people. It's the truth. Okay, and then the second part of this that I wanted to mention is that, and again, I was looking for studies because I see dance as a way of regulating the nervous system. And if you've watched my other videos, you know that I am a polyvagal geek, huge polyvagal geek. But I do really see dance as a way of regulating the nervous system and getting us back in our bodies. Number one, getting us back in our bodies so we can regulate our nervous system. Now, I don't think this has been extensively studied. I was looking for studies, so if any of you know of studies, please send them to me. And I couldn't find any actual studies, but certainly from my experience of working with hundreds of people within the realm of dance, that has been what I have seen, is people get in their bodies when they get over that bit of fight or flight response. Because often when you start to dance, especially if people are looking at you or you're really in an intimate space, you have a little fight or flight reaction. You have a little like, oh shit, no, I feel uncomfortable, this is vulnerable, I want to get out of here, as a North American person. Once you get over that and you get in the body and you start to let go, then your nervous system gets regulated. And you can't help, you can't be deep into dancing and into really feeling that energy and feeling the music, right? And be off somewhere else. It is a way of presencing yourself to the moment, presencing yourself to your body, feeling what's going on in your body. Like, there's no time that I feel more in alignment with my body than when I'm dancing. And I can feel everything. I can be like, oh, my hips are so tight, or my neck is so sore today, or like, oh, my shoulders are loosened up and this feels really good, right? It gets you in your body. And when you're in your body, there is so much available to you. Pleasure, healing, right? All sorts of juicy magic. So get in there. And now the other part that I really believe happens, especially when you're dancing in a group of people, and this happens on stage pretty naturally. I train my performers in this as well, but often it happens naturally before people even realize what's happening, is when you're dancing, you start to breathe in a certain way. So you start to breathe and emote what is going on for you, and the people around you follow that breath pattern, right? So in polyvagal theory, this would be called co-regulation. Everybody's been there. Everybody, I think, has been to a dance party where they put on one song and the whole floor is just like they are just in the same place. Or you've been to a concert where everybody has just suddenly dropped into it. And I believe that is co-regulation that happens from us tapping in to our heartbeats as we're dancing, or to the beat that is external via the music, and then breathing in accordance to that, becoming regulated and regulating each other. Yay! So super simple, super quick. Get into your body, do some movements. There are some wonderful, wonderful dance classes out there. If you want to grab my free gift, I believe that I have a little dancey dance portion in there. So just go down, grab the free gift as well, and there's a little dance portion. But just throw on your favorite music and start moving. And if you feel ridiculous, that's totally okay. Like you can totally do, like my ex-husband had a little head dance. He was a drummer, but as far as dancing goes, he could not keep the beat to save his life, but he had a little head dance. So start with your little head dance if you need to, right? And then start getting into it. And then get down a little further. And then get those hips into it. It's not about, does it look good? It's not about, you know, am I sexy to everybody? It is about, do I feel good? How do I feel in my body right now? And so let go of everything else and dance for yourself, and then start to dance with friends and start to just get silly and ridiculous and just move again in ways that feel good. You know, and the beautiful thing about dancing is that we can do this socially distant. We don't have to be super close. We can put some music on in our backyard, invite a couple friends over, and socially distance. I know some of the world is opening up, so you can get hot and sweaty on a dance floor. I am so envious, but my time will come soon. So get that dance on and start to see what it does, how it ignites your fire, how when your hips are loosened, how you can make love, right? See what it does for the rest of your life, and especially your love life. And then I would like you to report back to me. Okay, my darlings, that's it for this week. I love you. I can't wait to see you move. If you'd like to send me videos of your dancing, I will take them. Okay. Mwah.